we're going to start with a quick pledge of allegiance. If everyone will please stand and face the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Next, we're going to open in a quick word of prayer. I think that's going to be very important for tonight. And so if you would please all just bow your heads and pray with me. Lord, thank you for the people that have gathered here tonight. They are here in good spirit and good hearts to help the town of Spring Hope in the Pumpkin Festival. Lord, they all want to see it saved, and we're going to work hard, and we appreciate you being here with us, your presence here to let this meeting go well. Be with all of those going through these unforeseen weather issues around the world. So many lives are being lost. And be with Spring Hope as we go through our development this year. Be with the leaders, the elected commissioners, and town staff, as we're going to have a lot going on with the depot renovation and the Pumpkin Festival and all of the repairs to our infrastructure, Lord. So keep your hands on this town. Keep your thumb on our heartbeat here in Spring Hope, Lord. Be with us tonight. Give us the words and the communications with each other that we need. Forgive us of our many sins. Amen.
Amen.
All right. First, I'd like to introduce, we have some elected leaders here with us tonight. And I'd like, if you'd all stand, if you're an elected leader, please. Commissioner Cone, Town of Spring Hope, thank you for being here. Chairman Robbie Davis, Nash County Commissioners. Mayor Owen Strickland from Bailey. We've got Nash County Commissioner Freddie Howell, and we've got our state rep, Alan Chester with North Carolina House of Representatives here. And so we have a tremendous amount of elected leadership here to support us in the endeavor to keep the Pumpkin Festival alive. Commissioner Howell or Representative Chester, would you like to say anything?
Well, of course, I'm kind of partial to the Pumpkin Festival because my daughter is the longest reigning pumpkin queen because she was a pumpkin queen during COVID, so she had to serve for a little while there. And then a little while longer. But it's been a long since I've been here, and I really would love to see the town keep it going on.
Yes.
It brings a lot of people out to Spring Hope that's not normally here in Spring Hope, and they get to see the lifestyle that y'all created here and the culture that's here in town. And I think this is a beacon for the county and the state to look at as far as places to go and the kind of atmosphere you want to raise children up in. So I think the festival is important. If we can keep it going at all possible, we need to.
Thank you so much for being here. Hello, welcome, Ms. Carolyn Avid. Thank you for being here and joining us tonight.
Hi, Mayor. Hi.
Representative Chester, you want to say?
Oh, yes, fine, yeah, sure. So, like many of you guys, I grew up in this area, and so I've been coming to the Pumpkin Festival for decades, it feels like. Probably literally decades. I remember coming as a kid. And so, you know, I'm partial to the event myself. I think it's not just something that Spring Hope does, but it's something that the community puts on. And so just any way that we can be helpful, that's my goal, to be here and be helpful. And I think most of the time, the most helpful thing I can do is get out of the way. So I'm going to let you guys do your work.
And we have another representative here. Mr. John Taylor, can you please tell everyone who you are?
Yes. John Taylor, and I serve Nash County and 26 other northeastern counties as Regional Director for United States Senator Ted Budd. He serves in the Senate, U.S. Senate, but yet at the same time, an important committee that he has that's as important as any other is small business and entrepreneurship. And I rode around your town. I had been here before earlier last year, but I rode around and just really looked and tried to get a feel of Spring Hope and what it's like. But I will say this, festivals become the identity of a community and represent the heartbeat and one of the many heartbeats of community. And it's what the generations come to understand as home. And it oftentimes presents an opportunity for people to return home and a reason to come home, even in years to come. So I laud the fact that you've made it. I was speaking with Mayor Strickland earlier about the fact that this is the 52nd year. How many things do you know that last 52 years? A neighboring county. I was saddened to learn that a neighboring county, a festival that had come to be the identity of that county, will not be this year. So that's the Hot Air Balloon Festival. Franklin County, did you know that will not be held? So that's why what you're doing this evening is so important. You're carrying the tradition forward, and I look forward to learning more and helping and assisting them how I can. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Taylor, for being here on behalf of the United States Congress for our district. Chairman Davis, would you like to say anything?
Well, anytime you ask an elected official to say something, he's gonna say something. He's good or bad, but, I am pleased to be here. You talk about 52 years, I don't know that I've been to every one of them, but I guarantee you I haven't missed many at all. And certainly have been here long enough to be to every one of them. I guess that was the start of me 20 years old. Mayor referred to me as chairman. He's referring to myself as chairman of the TDA. That's the Tourism Development Authority. If I could correct you in a nice way, sir. And we have, as our group, donated money to the Pumpkin Festival many, many years. We have some available for this year as well. I do hope you request it, and I hope you spend it, and we look forward to providing some funds for that. That is the, how many of you have ever spent a night in a hotel in Nash County? Now I'm gonna ask y'all why you were in a hotel in Nash
Only for a few hours.
That's money comes from, you pay a fee on your hotel, it's 5% in Nash County, and we donate it to things like the Pumpkin Festival and have for many, many years. But I'm glad to be here. I want to help any way we can. The county is willing and ready to help any way we can, or we're not ready. And just let us know what you need. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for coming. We have some people in the room that have been volunteering and giving their time for decades. And Commissioner Brent Cohn is one of those. He has worked with the Chamber and the Pumpkin Festival and the town of Spring Hope for decades. We appreciate you. Thank you. And likewise, we've got Miss Sylvia Williams, we've got Peggy Leggett, Carolyn Avent, and Brian Tomlinson has helped a lot. I see Dean over there, he put the scoreboard at the baseball field. We see in this room, we're surrounded by people that constantly give, and they truly have a servant's heart. And so this group of people in this room, if the Pumpkin Festival can be saved, then this group of people is going to figure it out. And we're going to have the help that we need, I believe, on all levels. And thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. So with that, we welcome everyone, and we look forward to talking more about the opportunities to work with the Pumpkin Festival and how we can save it. And to simplify that in a very easy format, Mr. Ethan Bester, who has been past president of the Chamber of Commerce and is ex officio and volunteers all the time. He came up with a fantastic presentation to just kind of show where we're at and where we're headed and what we need to accomplish to make this thing happen. So, Ethan, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. Like I said, my name is Ethan Bester. I've served with the Chamber about 12 years. Up until this year, I took a break from the Chamber Board and take on some career goals and things that's taken me out of town. But Pumpkin Festival for me is, well, I'll say this. I was in your shoes 12 years ago. So let's rewind to about 10 to 12 years ago. The Chamber was in a very similar scenario. I think Karen White, there in the back. I'm not going to let you hide back there.
I'm trying.
She's trying, but I got her. Karen, Brent, myself, and several others in the room. I see some familiar faces. Heard the call from the Chamber to come and help. They needed some some younger muscle to jump in and help the chamber. So a meeting like tonight happened, and I think out of that 60 people, about 8 of us really stuck it through for a while. So here we are again tonight, having a little deja vu moment, but not all hope is lost because it's happened once. We can do it again. It just takes a little planning, a little coordination. But what tonight, what I want to present to all of you was basically a 30,000 square foot view of how does this work? You know, what actually happens behind the scenes? What do you not see? And give us a little basis to build off of. So if we stick with tradition, 1971, you had Elmo Tant and Ralph Bass organized a harvest festival here in town to celebrate the fall. Somewhere in the mid-70s, and Sylvia, you may be able to help me out with my timeline, it was adopted by the Chamber of Commerce and taken over. Now in 2025, the Chamber looks to pass this on to kind of give it a turnover. So you might consider tonight like a turnover meeting. We're turning it over to the next generation. So what, like I said, is here to stir community engagement and unity, to boost the economy. A lot of the store owners here, store managers will attest that that's the big weekend of the year for a lot of revenue. To raise funds for community projects and causes, to promote seasonal cultural tradition. So 52 years, and actually if you take in the account of some hurricanes and COVID years, and things were actually a little bit more than 52. But also provide some entertainment for all ages. So if we stick to tradition, this year would be the first Saturday in October, which would be October 3rd and 4th, with the pageant being the weekend prior on the 27th. There is that possibility to stick to that first Saturday. Sometimes the Saturday is the first. That happened a couple years ago in the calendar. We refer to that area in yellow, kind of amber, as the festival district. So you'll run basically from First Baptist Church in that far top corner, all the way down to the LPA in the bottom. That core Main Street section here in the middle along the tracks is where most of the festival congregates. But you'll have road closures and things like that that will affect some of these other roads. You also notice you have some jurisdictional opportunities there. Some of this is going to be controlled by the town of Spring Hope, which town streets. Some of it's going to be NCDOT or require DOT approval. The rail corridor in the middle is kind of a combination of the two. You have DOT-owned property managed by the town with some rights there. If you condense the festival down, you kind of lump it all into a few categories, about 5 categories. You have the administration side, which is executing permitting, getting your fundraising and accounting, securing your security, utilities, decorations, and sanitation. You have the contests and activities, like recipe contests, pumpkin decorating, the pumpkin weigh-in contest, which I'm involved with. Your parade, that's a pretty big undertaking for about an hour and a half of show. You've got a lot of participation there to get that put together. Your vendors, there's 2 great and accomplished people in the room that can help you with that one. Brent and Karen have both done that for several years. Food vendors, I wish I could pull Buddy in the door right now. Food and electricity goes hand in hand, so they're good people to have. Then you got your entertainment, which is either staged entertainment, roaming or street entertainment, and your rides and attractions. Different organizations that are typically that you have to network with. Of course, you've got the main hub being the festival committee, the town of Spring Hope, Sport Nash County, your TDA, Nash County Health Department. They come into play with your food trucks. Your law enforcement officers, your media and press, NCDOT, as they have some jurisdiction, The Chamber of Commerce, which owns most of the water and power infrastructure for your food, and then of course your sponsors. So what I wanted to offer to the mayor and to the crowd tonight is kind of a simple roadmap to get to that October weekend. And if you can get probably through the first 4 steps, we'll reach that go, no go point. But tonight, really hope to form a team, to get a good feel of who's willing to help, to provide some hours, some volunteer hours. Because we'll need to form a host organization that'll be able to host and actually declare the festival. In the past, that's been the chamber, but going forward, it'll need to be a different organization. Develop the festival plan. It's a lot of fun in that one. Trying to lay out how will the festival work and where will things go and what's the schedule and who's going to perform or want to perform and time slots and things like that. It's a lot of work in that one, but it's a lot of fun as well. Then they'll need to start fundraising because bands have already started taking booking dates for next year already. So we'll be a little late coming to the fold there, but still they'll need deposits and things like that to reserve those dates. So we'll need some working capital there. And then working with our town manager and the town commissioners through that event process, getting that event permit process done. Understand those insurance requirements. And if you're able to get to that point and get all your checks, then you've reached that go, no go point. So if you can get past that, we can go on into October, start with the entertainment, building participation, your utilities, getting your porta potties and things like that, hand washing stations. And my encouragement to anyone that's going to take on this is stick to the plan. There will be conflict. You can manage the conflict. It'll be okay. But stick to the plan, and it is a group and team effort. Decisions made on your own out in left field, everybody else will be lost. So bring it back to the group, stick to the plan, keep going. A lot of you are probably already thinking, okay, how much does this actually cost? You might want to take a guess. Thousands is right. Karen, you're not allowed to know the answer. So I'm hearing 25 and 30. 50. 65.
What's the answer?
The answer is about 50.
Yeah.
The cost of bands have gone up. The last couple of years, we've seen the cost of rentals go up, porta potties have gone up, everything's going up, utilities are going up.
It's gonna be 75. Let's
I
be real.
really think if you actually, we've done it for 35.
Oh, we've done it for 35, but this year you're just putting inflation, so that's 50.
Well, in the last few years, since COVID, you're
Yeah.
pushing 45 to 50.
I figured.
So, about 50 grand. There's some couple different revenue streams. Of course, you know, your retail vendors, grant funding from the county's been a tremendous help, a cornerstone of the budget for many years. Your sponsors, remember the t-shirts. You saw that design from the intro slide. That was the back of the t-shirt one year. Fundraisers, donations, parade entries. I won't get the weeds on that one, but parade is pretty much a break-even type of event. But that's why a lot of people come. Again, you know, kind of how it falls on the map and on the schedule. That September 1st town hall meeting is the absolute last opportunity you'll have for approvals. So everything will need to be buttoned up and ready to go. And I bet the town manager would be remiss to say, get it done before then. So, like I said, some challenges coming up, probably going to be funding, D30 Reno project. Mayor and commissioners in the room can probably lead us through that one a little bit more as we get a better timeline. And then getting police coverage. And that was very much a shotgun approach to Festival 101. So anybody have a burning question, you're like, okay, I really want to ask it to work? Yes, Ms. Bailey?
The roadblocks, the depot, what's the update on that? Are they gonna be in the middle of reconstruction on that, or?
I think Commissioner Cohen will tell that. More than likely, yes. We dodged it last year, but it's probably gonna be, that park area is gonna be cordoned off for next year.
Yeah, a secondary grant became available last year that we applied for, that interrupted the start of it for last fall. So all that's lined up, and you should see the renovations start. They were in the final architectural renderings of the depot for it to remodel. There'll be a, my town was surprised by talking about what they ran in town.
We need to go ahead and talk about it.
There will be a caboose brought down to be a part of the project. It'll be restored and be a part of the whole display of the depot area, so it'll look like a functioning train station for the old-fashioned caboose.
Yep.
Commissioner Griffin helped to secure that, and Edwards Crane was kind enough to do what they needed to get
We're
for some of the
gonna manage
restoration and get it moved, and
Get it moved.
so all that'll be a part of that. So that's gonna obviously be sitting on those tracks right there, which we don't set anything up for that for the Pumpkin Festival, but as far as the caboose itself, but there'll probably be a lot of barricades around that entire downtown or the grassy area. So where the band would perform would probably be the biggest impact. So you're looking at a relocation probably of that. Everything else is possible you can work around it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Questions and answer time. So that was a lot of information really quick, but that's kind of the, yes,
Commissioner Bates?
Oh, how do you expenditure that you showed, you remember approximately what the law enforcement cost is? I don't think it's too pretty significant, but maybe not.
It's, I think last year, I wish I had Claire's here to tell us. Last year we spent over $7,000. Yeah, I think that was, that's going from, it used to be a line item that was zero and now it's climbed into the thousands of dollars.
great question.
Yeah,
I actually didn't hear the question.
Yeah, we
What
can't
was
hear
the
back
question?
here.
the question was, what was the percentage of expenditure related to law enforcement?
Oh, I see, okay. Thank you, Mr. Gates.
Ethan, in years past, we had a carnival. Any plans for anything like that?
So Carnival is been a very hot topic. I know online, I read the comments, I try not to comment, but I read them all. So here's the peculiar about the Carnival. For most Carnival companies, probably in the last 10 years, there's been a big decrease in actual companies. A lot of them have gone out of business. The other ones is they get on a circuit, almost like the fair circuits. And they go, and they know their schedule from year to year, and they hit that same circuit every year. So once you fall out of their cycle, it's hard to get back on. So then the other year, I think it was, these years run together, but it was after 2020. We were in contact with a company out of Virginia that was willing to come to Springfield. What it boiled down to was we did not have the space for them. We all think about a neighboring town, the Blooming Festival has the courthouse parking lot, which is huge, flat, open space. It's also off of town property. They benefit from being on county property, and it's off state property. So you can't put a carnival on a state road or town property. They don't have the insurance to cover. Question.
How big is it? How much space do we need? What is the space we're
I
talking
think the
about?
minimum would be an acre.
An acre?
An acre. And all of those carnival companies I've ever talked to want the carnival immediately adjacent to the festival.
Yeah,
We had
So that-
tossed,
yeah,
we had tossed around, what about
moving that separate.
the grocery store parking lot or somewhere like that? Most of those were not conducive, they wouldn't shoot for it.
Okay, what about if we just move where the pumpkin festival is then? Why don't we move it down there? Why can't we do that? Make it happen.
Not only do you need the
Anyway.
space, not only do you need the space for the rides, but the carnivals also require that their RVs and their campers and everything be within walking distance of the actual rides, which means they need electric and they need water hookup. So that's a stumbling block around the downtown area of Spring Hope.
And I guess we can't take over both parking lots at one time, right?
No, because they're private property.
What if I canoodle them?
Good luck.
I mean,
Yeah, because shutting down Food Lion, the only grocery store in town.
technically nobody's going anyways, let's be real, nobody goes there. No, not an argument, but what, we couldn't canoodle it? I don't know, I'm just trying to give an idea.
It's difficult to put
Yeah.
this many, you're talking about 5 to potentially 10,000 people in a small area.
Yeah,
You really do need to spread
yeah, it's
out.
really not gonna work.
It's tough to get a carnival back, nor let's find one in town.
Okay,
This is a really perfect opportunity to look at the necessity of having a festival committee. And so we assemble, those in the room most passionate about the festival, the carnival rides happen. We can assemble that team tonight. We can put some people together tonight, and we can work with the guidance of Ethan and other representatives that have helped in the past with the event. But that's a perfect committee meeting that we could have. Not to ask less questions, but we're getting right to the meat and potatoes of making that happen. And so we're ready to schedule a committee meeting.
I'm ready, we're ready to do it now. I'm here.
Okay, so we'll put you with the committee for carnival rides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what if we don't do like an actual carnival, but we have like, what is the word of, you know what I mean, like adjacent little attraction.
Trophy house.
No, I don't like that. I want an actual like merry-go-round or just a Ferris wheel or just like a something. You know what I mean? Not the whole thing, just pieces and make it what it is.
And that would be great. We can do like a vision board at the first committee meeting, and we can just put all the ideas up there and organize them and string them all together
Okay.
and make it happen. But big thing, we get a big board, we can take visions and stuff and put them up there, and then we can plug everybody else in that wants to be on that team, and we can break it down into actionable tasks that we need to take to make that vision happen.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go Google later and find out if I can find a piece of a carnival.
Ask ChatGPT.
Been there, done that.
No, I wish I did.
Yes, sir.
Do you want, you got my You got what I meant.
I've always thought that would be a great location.
Can I get the room?
Can't hear him.
I can't hear his question.
The Spalding Family Resource Center, always thought that would be a great location for something like a carnival. One that's got historical prestige, but it's got space too, and it's really close to downtown. And I know one of the limitations in talking with Claris and some of the other committee members that were managing the Pumpkin Festival the last couple of years was liability insurance. You have to have a well-defined area. The cost, I'm sure, is exponentially higher now because all insurance is going up. But I know there are a lot of considerations. Is that something that?
That's something that I would definitely encourage the committee to explore.
And we can bring in, so what the forefathers, I guess you say, that came before us around this been, they're willing to share and make sure the transition, all the information is turned over that's needed. We have a book up here that they've already created that has all the different categories that we talked about tonight. And it's got all of those processes in place that we can follow. We can change if we need to and update them for how things work today. But we have that tradition. You notice he said tradition in that presentation. We have the tradition right here. We're so grateful that they gave that to us. So we have that base starting point. And then something like liability insurance, it is covered in here for the festival. And then also past years when they had the carnival rides, so we don't have to recreate the wheel. A lot of this we won't have to figure out. it'll be there for us. And so when we start having these separate committee meetings, we'll bring them in, where we can go ahead and just start talking about the meat and potatoes to make it happen. That was a great question. That was a great question and something for us to hopefully consider and talk about soon. Steve, question? Yes, Steve.
For me? I got a couple real quick. First of all, she's always that aggressive.
Yes, I am.
This is somebody
This
that
is
would go to
normal.
work. Sorry.
You're good. Don't make me.
So the chamber's stepping away.
Chamber's stepping away, take your hands off of it.
Are you still gonna be around for mentoring and things like that, or
I
are you gonna be on the committee?
I will be there to advise and consult, and I've committed, Dad and I have committed to still take on pumpkin weigh-in. I think you're not gonna get that out of his hands.
I got you. I mean,
But yeah, this year, because of my professional responsibilities, I can't be in the meat and potato of it like I had been in the past. But
lastly, in that book, is there any kind of record of maybe accounting of the expenditures?
Oh, yeah.
You know, in list form.
It's not in that book, but we have what we call
And that would be available
Bibles,
to the committee.
and they're like 4 inches thick. It's all, Claire's got it.
Spend some money.
And I'll run down real quick, and then this may spur a few more questions. It's only 6:35. We'll be out of here before our scheduled time of 7, or we could stay later. Someone may want to stay and work on some stuff tonight, and I would welcome that if we could. But just some of the basic areas to be thinking about are advertising, categories, committees that we can put together to work on advertising, craft vendors, and advertising would be working with WHIG-TV, it would be working with other press and media outlets in the area to get the event out there as far as advertising. So that would be emails and phone calls and some meetings, but that would be administrative. Craft vendors, most of that is administrative except for the day of. You'll have to be here to make sure everyone goes in their assigned spots, but a lot of that is primarily just communication as well. Just organized communication, accepting the applications, working with the accounting for the money to come in. Another category is cleanup. That's purely physical. People would just be out there picking up the pumpkins and the bells and cleaning up after it. Likewise, decorating, same thing. That's a physical job, just simply putting all the decorations in place, hay bales, pumpkins, etc. Then you have the parade. So the parade consists of dealing with the applications for all of the entries, collecting the revenues from there, and then managing the event as far as putting out barricades, working with law enforcement officers to make sure that all the routes are covered, working with the DOT to make sure that road closures that need to happen are in place, and working with the town to make sure that the parade route doesn't interfere, or that any construction we have going on doesn't miss in the area or whatnot. So next one, vendors. So food vendors is very similar to craft vendors. This could also be a committee that is combined. Your same thing, emails, phone calls, applications, working with the treasurer for the monies to come through and go back out, and then making sure everybody's in their assigned spot. We hope that Buddy Waltney would still be involved with any electrical, but the chamber, he mentioned earlier, they have the water and the electric hookups, and so whoever's running the food vendor department would also have to make sure they know where their water and electric hookups are and make sure they're turned on. Insurance, that's an administrative task that I can just handle. The Pumpkin Queen pageant is completely handled. Miss Sylvia Williams and Tracy Jackson. So the Pumpkin Queen pageant will happen all on its own. That is completely formed, and if there are some people that may be interested in working with them, if you reach out to me, I'll connect you directly with Miss Sylvia or Tracy on that. Part of the advertising, I forgot to mention this, is also going to be merchandise. And so that would deal with sourcing and finding shirts and coming up with the artwork for the shirts and the hats as part of advertising. We mentioned permits, the town applications, so a couple of more administrative tasks. Again, we're looking at mostly emails, phone calls, not a tremendous amount of physical labor except setting up the day of and cleaning up. Then sponsors is a big one. This is where the people in sales would be the most gifted for that. So anyone that's in sales on a daily basis, we're looking at reaching out and talking to people that have sponsored in the past and helping them continue to be a part of it. We are very fortunate that we have representatives, Mr. Davis there, Chairman Davis, I'll call you that, because the money comes from the Travel Tourism Authority, okay? That's where it comes from, so you're the chairman of that. So he has already stepped up, and we look, Representative Chester is here, that could possibly find some ways to help with funding for the state, and Mr. Taylor from the United States Congress, maybe he could find, I don't know, but maybe something, you never know. So the sponsors, the sponsor committee would work with not only just private sector sponsors, but also working with the government agencies for any grants. And then the entertainment, working with the band, picking out the band, ordering the stage, and making sure that they've got all the accommodations that they need. So that's kind of like the basic categories, and we've got most of this information also on springhopemayor.com. It's a website that a lot of people in organizations, community use to get their information out. But springhopemayor.com, and then just click on Pumpkin Festival tab. And the Pumpkin Festival tab, it has the different categories, and then you could just put simple information, name, number, phone number, name and phone number, email, and just let us know which category you would want to participate in. And I had a lot of people message the time at 6 o'clock for a lot of young families. People that message me back, 6 o'clock is a tough time. They're getting off of work, and then they're getting home, and they're giving their kids their homework and dinner. And so we're grateful for everyone that came tonight, and we also do have a tremendous amount of young families that are excited to get involved. And I definitely understand that the kids do come first for sure. I wanted to quickly ask my wife and my daughter, I appreciate them being here. Danielle has been in Spring Hope for her whole life. So was her mother and her grandmother, and now our daughter is here. So we got Lucy, a 4th generation Pumpkin Parade lover here, and you know, without them, there's no way that I could do the service that I do for the town. I love you all and appreciate you two so very much, and they're very interested in keeping the event alive. She amazes me every day how she gets as much as she's done, as much done as she does every day, and she continues to help so many friends and family outside of taking care of the house, and it's truly amazing how much she is able to take care of. Lucy, she's just absolutely perfect, and I want to show her dress off. She loves the parade. She loves it. And just come up here, baby. Look at this. Look at this. Come here. Look at her pumpkin parade. Lucy, do you want to say anything? Do you love the pumpkin festival? Are you going to help her? And she said that she would help in any way. So my 5-year-old daughter is stepping up to the plate and is excited to help. So thank you, Lucy. The PowerPoint was perfect, and I think at this point, let's take a few more questions while Ethan's here. We still have about 15 minutes before we hit that hour mark. I don't want to hold you all, but let's see if there's a few more questions in the room. Yes?
Mr. Mayor, my name's Jason Knapp. We spoke last year. I'm the guy that does Goat Fest, which is a barbecue contest and chili cook-off to raise money for patients in this area that are affected by cancer. This is our third year doing it. My wife and I are currently on the Southern Barbecue Network. So we are a sanctioned event. It is no longer a backyard event. One of the things that I think would help, and this is one of those things, Stacy and I went to go get certified to be judges, and they teach you how to do all this stuff. The one contest that nobody does is brisket. Now, I just want you to think for a second. If we brought brisket by the boxcar to the Pumpkin Festival. Now, I'm not saying it would be a slam dunk the first year, because when we did the first year of Goat Fest, I mean, I was sitting there going, geez, do I need to cook too while I'm trying to, do this? Well, first year we raised $5,000. Second year we raised 15. This year I'm looking at 50. I've got national sponsors. I've got the 6 billboards in Rocky Mount the month prior. And like I said, it's kind of crazy, but I think we could do brisket by the boxcar, add that to the Pumpkin Fest, and that would bring more people in. If you have music, food, and fun, there you are. And if you have a contest, the one thing that my wife said was the silliest thing I ever did was our first place winner got a big 1980s wrestling belt. We've got one for ribs, one for chili, and one for barbecue. And I would just slap that on the table and somebody would go, what is that? They'd open up, shut up, and take my money. So that's my suggestion. I appreciate you having me out here, and I'll do anything I can. I live in Red Oak, but I'm a member of the Lodge in Spring Hope, and I've been around for years. And believe it or not, John Bass and I used to go fly fishing all the time before he passed.
Wow.
So
That's it.
That.
Jason will reach out to you and we'll see which committee you may feel would interest you the most and be the easiest for you to plug right into, so it would be fun and easy for you. And we'll see how we can work together.
Sure.
Thank you.
On that note, I mean, contests always bring out people from all over the place. I mean, people are competitive, like super competitive. I mean, they know they got the goods. They want to, oh, I got the goods. And so that's a great idea. And,
I feel like chili would be the best time.
I'm all about that. Not sure about the carnival.
I'm not either, but.
Everyone's like you got like the cheapest employees because
No,
the market's
yeah.
going down. That's liability. I'm not gonna put my kids up there. And then you get the liability issue. Like I just don't know. I think there's a way that we can kind of create. Like,
That's what I want
a median.
What
where
is
it's like
it,
you're not super
the
high.
vibe. I want the carnival vibe, not the
The
actual
carnival
carnival.
vibe.
Yeah, I want the
But
vibe.
meanwhile, space wise, what's adjacent to?
I want to do like Grease Carnival, like
So I don't know if
that. You know the Grease movie? Yes.
Oh, like
Yes,
Grease Train.
that. That carnival. That's what I want. I don't want an actual carnival ride.
I was thinking
I
about
want
brisket grease.
no Grease like that's
I don't
what
watch movies.
that's the
There
vibe.
is space that can work, as long as, like the gentleman over there that had the most important question, which is liability.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. When you have a business of carnivals that are going
Mhm.
in this direction, the employees are probably not nice.
I mean, yeah, no, they're not.
Yep.
Yeah, I
But,
know that.
Not to get off topic.
No.
I see a question on the floor.
Yeah, so just in case I missed it, did we technically sign up by signing our name to that sheet, or do we need to go to springhookmayor.com? Like, is there?
Where is
there a
that?
certain?
Hey, is
I want to make sure that, I didn't miss the sign up for whatever it was. Was it Spring Hook Mayor, or was it the sheet? Or?
Oh, so that's what this was. I thought it was a sign in that you were here. This is the sign up sheet. Look, hey, if you really do want to sign up to volunteer, we can put the star by your name, or if you can take a second before you leave and actually fill out one of the forms. It's very simple. It kind of asks the question which category you want to plug in, so we can go ahead and connect you with that committee leader. So we can go ahead and put you in the right spot instead of kind of having a general open meeting like this again.
We,
Yes.
tonight, you got Ross back.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, everybody just take one, just take one and pass it around and that way you got it in your hand.
I can sell it.
I like
There you go. Yes. All right. Can you get advertised the PDF and of the presentation? This is okay.
If we already did it online, do we really need to do
No,
this?
if you did it online, you don't need to do it.
don't need to do
Just have an official one. Give it to a young cousin or a young daughter. Give it to me. Oh, give it to her. Give it to her. And say you want to argue. Well, hey, that's a good question. Thank you.
No, I think
I don't know.
Hey, does anybody want a hard copy of the PowerPoint presentation? Sure. Yeah.
We got a couple questions.
Another question on the floor? Okay. Hard copy of the PowerPoint. Yes, Hey, how does everybody think this meeting went tonight? Good? Good? Oh, yeah, more volunteer, more volunteer.